Okay. So yeah, me and James the whole time basically. Well, James was with Justin for a little bit because they went to Starbucks.
Yeah, we went and helped out with the Starbucks thing. Got one guy to open up and talk with us while he was waiting for his train. And then we went back and they told us we couldn't do it anymore. It was really a bummer, but oh well. And then I met up with you, and I think you were just tuning back up from when you broke a string. And what were you playing?
I was playing some worship song. I don't remember. I played a lot of songs. Basically, all me and James did the whole time was sit in the middle of Pioneer Square and play worship songs, which is pretty sweet.
Actually, we've got quite a few people. I heard a couple people actually singing along
Yeah,
with us.
that was cool.
That was actually pretty interesting.
We had some clapping sometimes, depending on the crowd. It was pretty cool. I think we reached some people. There was this one guy who James probably didn't realize because he was talking to another person. But when I played the songs, he like really looked like he was being like spoken to by the words in the songs, and you could see that he had the real emotional attachment to the song, that he really was thinking about it. So that was good. I didn't really get to talk to anybody, but
Yeah,
I think it was cool. It was good because we were in the middle of the city and we were singing praise to God, and that's just pretty sweet in itself, because 2 months ago I probably wouldn't have done that because I would be too afraid, but now I'm sitting or standing in the middle of Pioneer Square and just singing as loud as I can, blowing out my voice.
you might get it back next week. We'll see.
We'll see. But that's pretty much all I did the whole time.
Yeah.
Gosh, ministry. Well, we showed up and we did some worship time together, which was really cool. Then we split up to all go our separate ways. James and I decided to tackle the Starbucks right there at Pioneer Courthouse Square. We figured we could, buy people a cup of coffee and then use it and kind of springboard off that I'm giving you a free gift to segue into the free gift of salvation through Christ. We got one guy, and then the people at Starbucks politely asked us to stop because they didn't want their customers to feel pressured. They didn't say it, but they wanted us to stop so we didn't harass anybody. So that fell through. And then I tried to figure out what to do at that point because I really didn't know where God wanted me to go. James ended up staying with David, and I just prayed for direction. I just prayed for God to lead me where I needed to go. And almost immediately after I prayed, I saw a man coming from across the street who's trying to get directions. So I walked over to him. I said, "Hey, you look a little lost." And the next thing you know, I'm walking down the street with this guy, Toby, headed for the Carl's Jr. down the street. And along the way, I ran into a woman who was sitting on the street named Connie. Asked her to come along. The three of us sat down and talked. They were both in really rough patches in their lives. Both were homeless. Toby's trying to help some people kick, I believe it was heroin, because he's an ex-addict himself, and it's real stressful for him. He's trying to meet his girlfriend up. Connie was an older woman with a service animal, a cat, and a husband who's diabetic. They're both living on the street now. I told them about Open House Ministries here in Vancouver, and I told her about our church, and invited them, if they were across the river, to head over this way. On the way back to Pioneer Courthouse Square to meet up with everybody else, I met a man named Chris, who was also kind of down on his luck. He's come from Texas. He's trying to get himself under his, he's trying to get back on his feet. and I took him and I got him some food, chatted with him a little bit. Connie and Chris both came back to the circle with us and sat around for some worship time, which was really encouraging. I got Chris the phone number for the church, and I got him directions both here and to open house where he can, get a place to stay and get off the streets until he can get a job and get a place for himself. So it was really great to see God put me in a place to be a source of encouragement for some people. And it was really encouraging to me to know that just the little things matter to people. Something as simple as sitting down with them and giving them a meal, and then just talking to them, finding out where they are in life. It can be a real source of strengthening and encouragement. And I know when those people left me today, that they left in much better condition than I'd first met them. It was very obvious, and I just thank God that I was placed in their lives at that moment to be a source of encouragement. The Starbucks thing didn't work out, but God had better plans in mind, and for that I thank Him. This was a tremendous opportunity, and I hope we get a lot more chances to do stuff like this, because it was really cool.